Hi everyone, Roger Sadowsky reporting again from Markneukirchen, Germany at the Warwick factory. For this video I wanted to talk to you about the differences between our MetroLine bases and our MetroExpress bases. The MetroLine bases are made here at this amazing factory in Markneukirchen, Germany. Incredible factory. I'm sure you've seen from some of the other videos that we've done just how really amazing this facility is. So the original goal of the MetroLine was to duplicate the models that I make in my custom shop in New York City. Duplicate them as closely as possible. The electronics are exactly the same, the vintage tone control, the treble and bass controls, all the same as my New York basses, and all the pickups are made to the exact same specs and windings as my New York instruments as well. One of the major important things we do here on the MetroLine is what I do in New York City at the custom shop is I chamber my bodies. And this chambering takes about 3/4 of a pound of weight off the body. This body is remarkably light, even though we've originally started with some lightweight swamp ash. So it not only reduces the weight of the instrument, but it increases the acoustic resonance. And as you know from my other videos, I approach electric bass guitars as if they're acoustic guitars. And I feel the better they sound acoustically, the better they sound amplified. So this is the approach that we do to make the bodies lighter and more resonant. And then they get a top glued on like so, and it's the same wood as the body wood. Now on some of our master builds and our limited editions, then we can attach a top that's a fancier, different wood, like quilted maple, flame maple, spalted maple, cocobolo, the whole gamut of this amazing wood inventory that we have here in Germany. But this is the essence of the MetroLine, is the chambered bodies here. In addition to the body, the necks have 2 strips of graphite running the entire length of the neck, next to the truss rod. I do that to increase promoting an even response all across the fretboard. We use really high quality maple from the US, and we have a choice of fingerboards that will either be maple or Morado. A lot of people refer to Morado as Cavalluna or Bolivian rosewood or Palfero. It's all the same wood. It's not a true rosewood, but it's been one of my favorite fingerboard woods for 45 years, and I consider it generically to be in the rosewood family. To review, we've got a chambered body, either swamp ash or alder. Those are our primary body woods. Sometimes, depending on the model, we will also use okume, which has been a favorite wood of mine for many years. It comes from Africa. It looks a little bit like mahogany. It's also lightweight, and it has a wonderful tone. On the MetroExpress, we've done a few things different because we want the price point to be much more affordable, much more easier for a person to get his introduction to the Sadowsky family. So what are the differences on the MetroExpress? All of the bodies are okume, and they are not chambered. So every instrument has an okume solid body, not chambered. One of the real pluses of the MetroExpress is that we're using roasted maple for the necks. Now, when I refer to wood as being roasted, this is a process that began in Scandinavia many years ago to treat wood to be more weather resistant. And after the wood is normally dried in a wood kiln, it goes into a special oxygen-free oven, cooked at about 190 degrees centigrade, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, in an oxygen-free environment. And what this process does is it stabilizes the wood to an incredible extent. So it's much less susceptible to changes in humidity, which would normally require adjustments to the truss rod. So to have an instrument coming out of Asia with a neck having the stability of roasted maple is quite unique on the marketplace and something really, really special as an added feature on the MetroExpress spaces. For fingerboards, in lieu of a white maple, we also use a roasted maple fingerboard, or we use my alternative rosewood type wood, which is the Morado. So we have roasted maple or Morado fingerboards. All the necks are roasted maple. All the bodies are okume. Let's go back to the MetroLine for a minute. And the features on the MetroLine are exactly the same as my custom shop bases. We have volume, pickup blend. This is my vintage tone control, and it's also the bypass switch for the preamp. The top knob here is the treble boost of the preamp. The bottom knob here is the bass boost of the preamp. On the MetroExpress, the vintage tone control is not standard. So one of the approaches we're taking on the MetroExpress is we want the bass to be as affordable as possible to start, but also have the possibility to upgrade them with some of the features on the MetroLine. So we have an optional upgrade on the preamp that has the VTC, the vintage tone control. And we're also coming out now with another optional upgrade that would also add a mid boost similar to what is exclusive to the Will Lee model. So the MetroExpress, my goal for that is it to be the absolute best based on the market at its price point. We want it to be upgradable if you choose to do so. None of these upgrades are necessary or required, but if you wanted the vintage tone control, you can add that. If you wanted the mid boost, you could add that. If you wanted to upgrade hardware or pickups, all of that is possible. But out of the box, the MetroExpress is just an amazing bass for the money. And again, my personal commitment is I want it to be the best bass on the market for the cost of a MetroExpress. So there are your choices. We have our production MetroLines, which are just like my New York City bases. In addition, we have master-built MetroLines, which are custom ordered with extra features that aren't standard on the regular production bases. And then we have our annual limited editions, which have really special woods and finishes. And these are projects that Nicholas Wolfer and I collaborate on every year to design a really cool bass for the next year's limited edition. So I hope this answers a lot of your questions about the differences between the MetroExpress and the MetroLine. For those of you who are not part of the Sadowsky family yet, I hope you'll be one soon. Thank you. See you soon.